Hey everyone, welcome to part 5 of this trophy and achievement guide for Metaphor ReFantazio. A big thank you to everyone who's been tuning in and leaving comments. I really appreciate that. When I created this channel a little over a year and a half ago, my main goal was to create guides for video games that people would enjoy and would find informational and useful. And based on your comments, I think that I'm meeting that goal. As always, I welcome your feedback. Leave me a comment down below. Give this video a like if you enjoy it. And with that, we're going to jump right into the guide where we finish out the rest of the month of July. Alright guys, it is July 7th in the afternoon. We have a lot of things to do and we're going to do them step by step together. Let's start by going into the tavern and we're going to turn to the left. There's a classy woman at the end of the aisle here. Let's talk to her and she's going to give us a quest called the Queen of Cuisine Heart. She's going to need an item that we can cook for her and we'll do that a little bit later. Now let's head back outside to Thoroughfare Square. We're going to go forward and there's going to be Bardon straight ahead of us, so let's talk to him and we're going to choose to spend our afternoon with him. After some dialogue with his personalized story, we do unlock rank 1 with Bardon, and that gives us access to a new archetype called the Commander. It's an interesting archetype that allows us to do a lot of support skills, and it's found in the bottom right corner of the archetype tree. We also need it for unlocking new archetypes later on. It's now July 7th at nighttime, and what we want to do is to start getting into the habit of getting free cooking ingredients every day. We can do that by fast traveling to the Gauntlet Runner, and when we arrive, we'll turn around and we will interact on the pantry on the right side. We'll get 2 random cooking ingredients. We can't control it in any way, but we will be using those for cooking. And speaking of cooking, now we're going to go into the kitchen and we're going to interact with the cooking table. Because we have Heismay in our party now, we do get some new recipes, and we're not going to cook them just yet. We will save that for a later time when we can cook without spending any time. To do that, we need to level up our rank with Maria, but we can't do that until we get more tolerance. So let's go ahead and fast travel over to the Hushed Honeybee Inn so that we can work on upping our tolerance a little bit. So once we're here, we're going to go forward and we're going to talk to Fabienne. I had to talk to her 2 times in order to unlock the ability to do some cooking with her at nighttime. So if that happens for you, talk to her once and now talk to her again, and we'll choose to spend our night helping her cook in the kitchen. The dish that you have to make is random, and it does have a correct answer to get you the most amount of tolerance points. So depending on what dish you get, put in the correct answer based on what's on the screen. I got the omelet, so I'm going to choose cook it over low heat, and when I do that, I'm going to get the most tolerance points, which is 3. That gets me to tolerance rank 2, which is good because that will allow me to get deeper bonds with some more of my followers, including Maria, who will also help me cook and will get me a new trophy a little bit later on. It's now the afternoon of July 8th, and we're going to fast travel over to the Gauntlet Runner to do our daily pantry run.
What's this?
After that, let's hit the left directional button to bring up our follower menu. We'll go all the way down until we find Maria, and we're going to choose to go talk to her.
Mister?
Maria isn't here, but we can talk to Fabienne instead. She'll notice that we're carrying a drawing that Neuras made on one of our travels, and after that we're going to complete the quest called Promising Returns. After that, let's keep talking to Fabienne, and because we now have tolerance rank 2, we can choose the bottom option, I want to make Maria smile, and that will give us access to spending time with her, and we'll be able to rank up with her again. After some cutscenes, we'll get Maria up to rank 2 and get the Healer Enlightenment ability, which reduces the mag cost of studying the archetypes in the healer lineage. It's now July 8th at nighttime, and we're going to do a new activity that we've never done before. Starting off from the tavern, we're going to turn around and exit. Now let's hop onto our sword, and we're going to go out through the north exit. From here, let's turn left and we'll go basically all the way down the path until you get to the big rock statue on the left side. Next to that is going to be a podium, and when we interact with that, we can spend our night giving a speech in town. So let's go ahead and do that. You will be asked to make a selection for a dialogue, and it does matter what you choose. So the correct answer when you make a speech here is we're going to say, let's promote local delicacies, which is the first option. When you make the correct choice, you will get 4 points toward the Eloquence Royal Virtue, and we also get 1500 Reeve. And that's going to end our day. It's now July 9th in the afternoon. We're going to fast travel over to the Gauntlet Runner to collect our supplies from the pantry.
Let's go.
What's this?
After that, we're going to open up our follower menu and we're going to select Hulkenburg and we're going to go speak with her.
Now then.
We'll be transported over to the tavern. Let's talk to her and choose to spend the day with her. We'll go through more of her personal story, and after that we will reach a new rank with her, and this is going to be rank 4. We learn the Scion skill ability, giving us another inheritance slot for the Knight lineage. It's now July 9th at nighttime. We want to go back to that same podium where we gave a speech earlier, but this time we're actually going to get into a debate with another person. So either ride your sword there or fast travel to the Stairstone Market. Now let's turn left and make our way over to the stage. There is a trophy for defeating all of the opponents in debates, so we need to make sure that we give the correct answer every time to the one question that it will ask us. Roger is up on stage already, so let's talk to him and we're going to choose to spend our time debating him. The correct answer that you need to give to win the crowd over is option 3, taxes benefit us all.
Please listen.
Once you say that, you win the debate, you get 2500 Reeve as well as a lot of Royal Virtue points. We get 4 points toward Eloquence and 1 point toward Imagination. That's going to raise our Eloquence rank to level 2. It's now the afternoon of July 10th. The game tells us that Maria wants to speak to us, which is good because that will allow us to rank up with her. But first we have to do 2 errands inside the Gauntlet Runner. So let's fast travel over there. We're going to first stop by the toilet, which is directly across from the pantry because the date ends in a 0. It's going to be a day where we can get a permanent +1 bonus to our luck stat. After that, let's cross the hall and we're going to go into the pantry to get our 2 free cooking ingredients for the day. And now we can go and meet with Maria. So let's pull up that follower menu, scroll down to Maria and choose to go talk to her, and then we'll spend some time with her. When speaking with her, we'll give her one of the drawings that Neuras made at one of the locations that we visited, and then we're going to have the option to spend time with her. And once we do that, we're going to get a new rank with her, and that's going to be rank 3. This also gives us access to a new archetype called the Cleric, which is an upgrade to the Healer archetype that we already have. We also get the Scion skill ability so that we can inherit another skill when using something from the Healer lineage. It's now the night of July 10, and the game will tell us that Heismay wants to have a conversation with us, so we're going to select that from the follower menu and go speak with him. When you're talking to him, you'll get a notice that you have to be at least Eloquence rank 2 in order to continue on with this, but luckily we have that and we can say it'll help me understand you. That will unlock the ability to spend time with him that day and you'll be able to rank up with him. When you spend time with Heismay, you'll learn more about his backstory, and I think it's one of the better stories of all the characters. You'll also reach rank 2, giving you the Thief Enlightenment ability, so it costs less mag to study the Thief lineage, and you also get Preternatural Hearing, so that strong enemies will appear on dungeon maps. It's now the afternoon of July 11th, and we're going to fast travel over to the Gauntlet Runner to get our daily supply of cooking ingredients from the pantry. Now let's open up that follower menu and we'll see that Strohl wants to have a conversation with us and he's ready to rank up. So we will choose him and we'll go have a conversation with him, at which point we will have the option to spend the afternoon with him, and we're going to do that learning more about his backstory, and we also get to rank 5 with him, and this will give us 2 new abilities, the first being Warrior Veneration, significantly reducing the cost to study the warrior lineage. We also get Battle Aura. When Strohl is not in the party, the amount of experience that he receives increases. We also get a new quest called A Noble's Legacy. When we complete this, then we will get a new rank for Strohl. It's now the night of July 11th, and we need to make a new speech at a podium, but we have to do it in the royal capital of Grand Trad. So let's fast travel over there, and we're going to go to the Regolith Grand Cathedral area because that's where the podium is. Let's hop on our sword and continue over toward the east. We're going to go past all of the merchants here straight ahead of us, and in the back left corner of this area is going to be the large elevated platform. We're going to interact with this and we're going to choose to give our speech here to raise our eloquence level. When you're prompted to give an answer, choose option 1, help and understand each other. This is the best option that will get you the best rewards. You'll get 4 points towards eloquence, and you'll also get 1500 reeve. Now it's the afternoon of July 12th. We're going to start our day by fast traveling over to the Gauntlet Runner because once again we want to get our daily supply of cooking ingredients from the pantry. You may have noticed that Maria wants to spend some time with us, so let's pull up that follower menu, scroll down to Maria, and we're going to choose to go have a conversation with her. And that will automatically bring us back to the Hushed Honeybee Inn. Let's go ahead and speak to Fabienne to begin that spending time with Maria section, and when we do that, then we will rank up with her again and get 2 of the most important abilities available. When you reach rank 4 with Maria, you get the Purpose ability, which increases your post-battle experience, as well as the Speed Cooking ability, so that time will not pass while you're cooking inside the Gauntlet Runner, which is incredibly important for allowing us to get a couple trophies. It's now the night of July 12th, and it's another debate night for us, so what we want to do is to head over to the Stairstone Market, and then we're going to go left all the way down the path until we get back to the podium. Our opponent this time is a Ujif named Lina, and she is the second of 8 opponents that we need to beat in order to get a trophy, and we also get a lot of Royal Virtue when we defeat her. So go ahead and choose to spend your night debating Lina, and when you are asked to choose which option you want for a debate answer, we're going to choose the first option, what are your policies? When you successfully complete the debate, you'll get 2500 reeve, as well as your Royal Virtue points, 4 points for Eloquence, and 1 more point for Imagination. It's now July 13 in the afternoon, and it looks like Heismay wants to have a conversation with us, but before we do that, we need to make a quick trip over to the Gauntlet Runner so that we can go into the pantry and get our 2 cooking ingredients of the day. Now let's pull up that follower menu and we'll choose to have a conversation with Heismay. We'll be teleported over to where he is. Let's talk to him and then choose to spend the day with him. And once we do that, we will of course spend more time learning about his backstory, and then we're going to rank up with him again.
My thanks.
At this point we hit rank 3 with him, and that teaches us the Thief Archetype Adaptability, so we now have access to the Assassin, that is the upgraded Thief. It learns some good abilities, including one move that can kill an opponent in 1 hit. It's now the nighttime of July 13th, and we're going to do an activity that we've never done before. It will increase our courage as well as make some progress toward another trophy. So back out inside Thoroughfare Square, we're going to go over toward the northwest corner of this plaza area, and we want to talk to the spirited youth with the courage symbol above his head. If we give him 250 Reeve, he is going to allow us to take the plunge, and that will be how we spend our time tonight. Not only will we get a new item if we do this, called the Foreign Coin, which is actually pretty good. We can sell it for a lot more money than the 250 Reeve that we just spent, but we also get 4 points toward Courage, which gets us ever closer to the 3rd rank of Courage. It's now July 14 in the afternoon, and we're going to spend the first part of today going back to the Gauntlet Runner so that we can get our daily supply of cooking ingredients from inside the pantry.
Right away.
Maria wants to spend time with us today, so pull up that follower menu, scroll down to find Maria, choose to go have a conversation with her, and then we will also choose to spend time with her.
Mister. That's why. Yeah.
We now reach rank 5 with Maria, and that gets us the ability called Healer Veneration, which will significantly reduce the cost of studying the healer lineage. It's now the nighttime of July 14th, and what we want to do is to fast travel over to the Hushed Honeybee Inn, because we're going to spend our evening helping Fabienne in the kitchen, and with any luck, Maria will want to join with us, and if she does, we're going to get a new trophy or achievement. If Maria doesn't choose to cook with you tonight, don't worry, because there's still more opportunities in the future to get that trophy. But luckily she will be here and will be willing to assist you when you spend time overnight helping Fabienne in the kitchen. And when she does volunteer to help you, you will get that new trophy or achievement called Chef in Training. Now, the options that you have while cooking are the same as when Gallica helps you, so have a look at the list on the screen and the associated options and choose the correct one. Because we're cooking stew, I'm going to choose Let's Just Scrape the Top. And when I make that selection, then I will get the best reward, and that's going to be in the form of 3 new points toward our royal virtue of tolerance. It's now the afternoon of July 15th, and because it's an Idols Day, it means that we can get that permanent +1 bonus to our luck stat. So let's head on over to the Gauntlet Runner. Remember, every Idols Day ends in either a 5 or a 0 on the calendar, and then we're going to go over to the toilet in the Gauntlet Runner and get our +1 stat boost to luck. Now we'll go across the hall and we'll get our daily supply of cooking ingredients from the pantry. Now let's turn left and go over into the strategy room, and we're going to go to the round table and select a new route from the route map. We're going to go over toward the east, and we're going to select the Man-Eater's Grotto. It's a short trip over there, only taking 1 day, but we can still do some activities on the Gauntlet Runner while we travel. So after we set a course to the Man-Eater's Grotto, we're going to get a notice that there's a new function of the Gauntlet Runner called Gardening, where we can plant seeds and get some items, but we're not going to do that because that's not important. We also get a notice that Hulkenburg wants to talk to us, but more importantly than any of that, what we're going to do is head over to the kitchen, and we're going to select the cooking table. Because we now have the ability to do speed cooking, we're going to choose to cook without spending time. Let's scroll down the list and choose Benevolent Bread, which takes fragrant spice, mellow milk, and orgo sugar, 3 things that you should already have. And we're going to choose this option first because that is related to a quest that we have to turn in. There is a trophy or achievement related to cooking all of the dishes, so we will be doing this pretty frequently as we travel on the Gauntlet Runner. Now let's pull up that follower menu, go down to Hulkenburg, choose to have a conversation with her, and we'll spend some time with her as well, learning more about her backstory, and eventually getting to the point where we can rank up with her once again. When you hit rank 5 with Hulkenburg, you get the Night Veneration ability as well as Battle Aura. These are the same kind of abilities that we got with Strohl earlier, reducing the mag cost for studying and increasing her experience when she's in reserve. On the way over, you're going to get to Comero. You can choose to stop here if you want to do some shopping and then continue on, or you can just skip it entirely by saying let's keep going. When you arrive at the Man-Eater's Grotto, Gallica will scan the area and let you know if there's any important treasure that you need to get here. There actually is one of Neuras' relics here, so we'll be sure to pick that up before we leave. Now before we go into this area, we want to go into our archetype tree, and I'm going to go to the protagonist, and I want to study the commander archetype just to make sure that we've learned this one and adding a new one to our roster. Moore is pleased, and he's going to give us an item, 3 of these Heroes Leaf of Light, which gives us 1000 archetype experience. We are not going to channel the commander archetype, we want to keep that magic seeker equipped onto him. And we want to make sure that we have the right skill set up. We need to make sure that we have both a fire and an ice spell, so make sure you have Bot and Blizz. Then we're going to go over to Strohl, we're going to go down to the Swordmaster, and make sure that he has also inherited Bot and Blizz. Now over to Hulkenburg, we'll go over to her Magic Knight, and we'll make sure that we have also inherited the Bot and Blizz spells. So if you haven't done this already, you'll have to spend about 500 mag each in order to learn those, but that's okay, we've got plenty of mag to spare. So now that Hulkenburg has Bot and Blizz equipped, we'll go over to Heismay, but he has not learned any other skills yet because he's only ever been a thief. So we'll go over to the Mage, and we're going to have him study the Mage archetype for 450 mag, but we do not want him to actually equip this thing. We want to keep the Thief on for now. Now, even though we have the Thief equipped, we can still learn skills from that Mage, and to do that, we're going to go into our items, go down to the bottom of the list, and choose a Hero's Fruit, and we're going to use that on Heismay, and then use it on the Mage. That's going to get us to rank 3, and we're going to learn the Blizz spell. So once Heismay's Mage archetype has the Blizz spell learned, we'll go back to the archetype tree, go down to Heismay, and on his Thief, we're going to inherit to that new Blizz spell that we just learned. That will cost us 500 more mag. And that means that each of our party members now has an ice spell equipped, and that's going to be very important for the boss of this area. Once you're all set, let's go forward, and we're going to enter the Man-Eater's Grotto, and that will mean that we're going to spend our day here and will not have an option for what to do at nighttime. This place is a little bit tricky, but I'll show you how to get through it. Start by running directly forward and then drop down. There's going to be a couple enemies in this area that honestly you should be killing in one hit, but I'm going to go into squad-based mode just to show you how to deal with them. These large flower-like enemies with the big mouth in the middle are weak to fire spells, so go ahead and hit them with a bot and they're going to go down very quickly.
The power of fire. That's one. Nice. Magic seeker. Burn.
Alright, that's one group of enemies defeated. There's also going to be a lot of those worms underground that will try to pop up and ambush you. If you want to, you can try to dodge them and get the stun on them, or you can just hit the button to initiate the squad-based battle, and these guys are going to be weak to ice, so hit them with Blizz and they'll all go down really quickly. I'm probably not strong enough with Strohl to hit them with just one attack, so I'll just pass the turn over to the protagonist, and then Hulkenburg will also be able to eliminate them with one hit of that Blizz spell. So between Heismay, the protagonist, and Hulkenburg, 3 shots mean 3 kills.
Smooth finish. Great work, everyone.
We'll keep going forward a little bit more and grab the item on the ground, then we'll go over toward the west and grab the item just past this man. Let's keep going toward the north, and there's another enemy we can probably kill in one hit. If you can't kill them in one hit, then they're going to be weak to Blizz. Let's keep going forward, and we're going to grab this item behind the rock formations, and you've got a choice between going north and going east. You want to go east, loop around, and make your way up to the top of this area. You'll want to see this talkative tooth. You can talk to him if you want to. Otherwise, just turn around and you're going to run around the rock formations in a clockwise fashion. You'll find that there's going to be a pass-through area on the side that will take you into the area by the quest marker. The quest marker is the treasure chest here that we can open, and that's where we get that relic for Neuras. It's called the Screwed Up Mineral. After picking up that item, you're going to have some cutscenes. After that, then go back through the crawl space over toward the east, and now we're going to work our way down toward the south. There's going to be a few new enemies to take out. They're just the mods that we've seen before, so take them out, and then there's going to be a treasure chest in this bottom area as well as one item on the ground. So grab the item, and then a little bit further toward the south, grab the treasure chest.
Nice. Here we go.
Now we're going to make our way back toward the north. We have to run past where that crawl space was, all the way to the top part. When you see the tooth, turn toward the right and follow the path down. When you get down to the bottom, you'll want to go through the north exit, and then that will take you down a level. Let's go forward and then left around the corner and then drop down to the lower level. From here, we want to start by going over toward the north, which is to our right, and we're going to work our way to this dead end. We're going to eliminate these enemies and then grab the item on the ground. Now we're going to turn and start heading south. Keep on going down past all these rock formations until you get down to this bottom part where you can grab the item, and now we're going to go a little bit further toward the south and then over toward the east, which is our left. Keep running around here, defeating the enemy, and there's going to be another treasure chest in this back corner. Now let's go back the way that we came, but instead of going all the way toward the left where there's a trance crystal, we're going to start going toward the north. You'll see that there's an item over on our left, so let's run over there and grab that before turning and heading toward the north. There's some more enemies over here, so we'll defeat them and then we'll grab the item on the ground. From here, let's go over toward the west. There's a trance crystal here, so feel free to farm enemies if you want to, otherwise just destroy the trance crystal. Every time you do, you'll get another one of those items that give you some instant archetype experience. Make sure that you grab the item on the ground before continuing toward the north. You're going to follow this passage around, and then on the right side behind some rock formations, there's going to be another one of those gold beetles. It's up in the upper left corner of this area, right in between those two exits. So grab the gold beetle, and now we're going to go toward the north and then toward the east, running up this ramp, and there's going to be a treasure chest up in this area. So go ahead and open this up. And now we're going to backtrack the way that we came. So we want to exit out the western side. And now we're going to go over toward the west and go up this ramp, continue around the corner to this upper level. You'll take out 3 more enemies in this area, and there's going to be one treasure chest way over toward the west. Run over here, defeat the enemy, and grab the treasure chest.
We're so lucky.
And if you look at the minimap, there's going to be another treasure chest toward the southern part of this area. So run around there and grab that treasure chest.
Our risk pays off.
Now we're going to go out the exit nearby, just jump down to the lower level, and we're going to make our way toward the south. We've cleared out basically the whole upper portion of this area. Now we have to head south. There is another trance crystal just ahead of us, so run down here and take out the enemies nearby, and then destroy that trance crystal.
There they are.
Now we're going to turn back toward the west and start heading toward the southwest corner of this area. We'll defeat these enemies and then run up the path. When you see this guard, turn toward the left and run down the hallway. Around the corner is going to be another red Elementa, so take him out using your ice spells. And there's going to be another big enemy here called the Kaimenza. They are weak to the wind element, so your Magic Seeker's Cyclo can do a really good job against him. And you can also use things like Dark Sword and the Rising Slash ability from Strohl. Together with your team's best attacks, you should be able to take him out on that first turn before he has a chance to attack.
What a finale! Keep your energy up, everyone.
After that fight, make sure that you grab the item in this area, and now we're going to keep heading toward the east down the hallway. We're going to run up the stairs and into the next level. From here, let's turn toward the right and run down the path, grabbing the treasure chest behind these rocks.
We found good find.
And now from here, what we want to do is head over toward the wall on the east side. We can interact with the switch to open up a secret passageway that is actually a shortcut to the beginning of the dungeon. We could go through there right now, however, I will come back here on the way out. So I'm just going to skip it for now, and we're going to backtrack the way that we came over toward the west. From here, let's run forward, backtracking past where we fought that Kaimenza, and now we're going to make our way toward the northwest corner. We'll run past the guard, and we're going to go past these enemies, grabbing the item on the left side. Keep running forward, and on our right, down this cubby, there's going to be another item that we can grab. Let's head back toward the west, and this will be the final hallway of this dungeon. You'll see Moore's cat on the side, so feel free to save it if you want to, but this boss is very easy. We'll go ahead, open the door, and get to a fight with the boss of this area, who's also going to be our bounty target. This is the Alpha Rockworm Valmo, and you can actually see that there's two of them. The main trick to this fight is to defeat them both on the same turn. To do that, we're going to focus on only using the Blizz spell, and we're going to stagger the uses against the two enemies. You basically want to lower their health down proportionately to one another. So what I like to do is just to have the protagonist and someone like Heismay attack one of the targets, and our other stronger magic user, which is Hulkenburg, will attack with the other party member, which would be Strohl. It doesn't have to be perfect, just make sure that you get their health down at the same rate relatively so that you can finish them both off on the same turn. If you do not do that, then when they get their turn, they will summon another one, and it becomes a nightmare to try to defeat them both at the same time. We had this problem before when I was in the Regolith Grand Cathedral. One of those Specto enemies kept summoning in a replacement, and we had to go through a couple cycles with that, but you can completely avoid that just by defeating them both on the same turn. So keep using only that Blizz spell. You're going to get 8 attacks per turn, and if you cycle them between the two enemies, you should be able to take them both down on the same turn, avoiding any one of those summons, and you'll be all set. So here you go, the last attack, and this fight will be over. Very easy. In fact, it was almost perfect. The only problem was that Strohl missed one of his attacks, which cost me a couple turn icons. No big deal though, very happy with how this fight went. After the fight, we get the Alpha Rockworm Eye, which is the item that we need in order to collect our bounty. I'm going to choose to explore more. We're not going to go directly to the entrance because I want to grab one more item on the way out of here. But we already have the pathway cleared, so let's go ahead and run toward the south past Moore's Cat and keep working our way all the way down toward the southernmost point here. You can fight the enemies if you want to, or just run past them, it doesn't really matter. Keep going down to the south hallway and then start heading toward the east. You want to run up the stairs on the far east side. Now in this area, we're going to go through that passageway that we opened before and then turn toward the right so that we can head toward the south. And up this hill, there's going to be another item that we can grab. That's the last one of this area. We'll turn toward the left, run up, and that will take us to the path where we can drop down. And on our right side is the exit to this dungeon. So run here, and at this point, we can double check to make sure that yes, indeed, we have gotten all of those blue items on the map and open all the treasure chests here. There was one area in the middle that's a little bit foggy yet, but that's just a shortcut back to drop down to a lower level. There were no items there at all. Now we just leave the dungeon, run forward, and we'll be prompted to either set up camp here so we can explore more tomorrow, or to return back to town. We're going to return to town.
Okay then.
That's going to end the day, and our nighttime is spent eating and recovering, so we can't do anything then, but we will now find ourselves in the afternoon on July 16. This is a very busy day, so let's get started. We'll turn toward the right and we're going to run over toward the recruitment center so that we can turn in the bounty that we just completed for defeating the Alpha Rockworm Valmo. That completes the quest called the Man-Eater in the Mine. We get 4 points of courage as well as 20,000 Reeve for completing this bounty. After that, we're going to turn around and go back inside the tavern, and when we do that, we're going to go over and talk to the lady on the left-hand side. She is the classy woman who gave us the Queen of Cuisine Heart quest, and by giving her the benevolent bread that we cooked while we were traveling in the Gauntlet Runner, we're going to be able to complete that quest. As a reward, we get 5,000 Reeve as well as 2 new and unique cooking ingredients. We're done in Martira for the day, so let's fast travel over to the Gauntlet Runner so that we can go into our pantry and get our cooking ingredients for the day. Now we've got some business to attend to in the royal capital of Grand Trad, so pull up your map and we're going to go to the world map and we're going to fast travel over to Sunlumio Street. Let's hop on our sword and go forward, sticking over toward the right side because there's going to be a new person who can give us a quest. He is called Resentful Noble. He gives us the Haunted Heirloom quest. We have to get a black jewel necklace from inside the Mausoleum area of the Regolith Grand Cathedral. We'll now go across the street and into the church because it's been a while since we've looked at any of the items and equipment that we can purify. So let's go over, talk to the Sanctor, and choose the purify option. It's really up to you how much you want to purify and upgrade here. I'm going to do most of these things, and I'm going to start at the bottom of the list with the Grandmaster Staff. This will increase the strength of all magic. It's really good for a mage or a wizard. There's also the Hellfire Fangs for the Faker. Now there's a couple different abacuses that you can choose. I would recommend the Investor's Abacus because that one will increase the cost and the strength of money skills. The other one decreases the cost. Because there's a trophy related to spending money on attacks with the merchant, I think that getting the one that causes you to spend more money will allow us to get that trophy a little bit faster. So that's the reason I went that direction. You can also buy the other things if you want to, like this Dragon's Judgment. Definitely an upgrade for a character like Strohl, and it gives his normal attacks the fire affinity. It seems like most everything else is kind of a downgrade, so there's not much reason to upgrade them, but if you really want to, what you can do is to purify them and then end up selling them. You may be able to make a little bit more Reeve doing it that way. So whether you want to spend those blessed waters or not to, totally up to you. When you're all done with that, head back outside. There's one more quest that we want to pick up, and to do that, we're going to hop onto our sword and head over to the Regolith Grand Cathedral area. Let's turn left and head over into the Mausoleum area, but we are not going to do that just yet. We're not going to go down in there. We're only going to talk to the guard standing out here. His name is Nervous Soldier, and he gives us the Skullduggery quest where we have to collect 8 Morta skulls from the enemies down in there. We'll be doing that a little bit later on. Now we're going to go into that follower menu, go down to Maria, and we'll choose to spend some time talking to her, and that will allow us to rank up with her as well. When we find her outside, we'll be able to talk to her, and of course we can spend the day with her. We get kind of a cool cutscene here. I'm not going to spoil it for you. Very heartwarming, and we get to rank 6 where we get Scion's Merit, increasing the skill inheritance slots for the healer lineage to 3. It's now the nighttime of July 16th. We're going to be back inside the Martira Tavern, and what we want to do is to have another debate. So, of course, we're going to fast travel over to the Stairstone Market, and then hop on our sword and travel over toward the west, following the path all the way up to the end, where we can get into another debate with a new opponent whose name is Loveless. So let's go ahead and talk to him while he's up on stage here. We'll choose to spend our time debating him, and when you're asked which answer you want to give, we're going to choose the second option on the list called Alcohol Won't Bring Equality.
Please listen.
And with that, we've defeated the third of 8 opponents. We get 2,500 Reeve, as well as 4 points toward Eloquence, and 1 more point toward Imagination. There's now quite a bit of story stuff that's going to happen, so feel free to pause if you want to, and we'll resume when we get to the afternoon on July 17th, when we are inside the Gauntlet Runner. Well, it's a new day, and you know what that means. It's time to go into the pantry for our daily dose of cooking ingredients. Now let's go into the kitchen next door and we'll interact with the cooking table to do some speed cooking without wasting any time. Now you can look at the list of items that you can make, and anything with a square has not been cooked yet. Anything with the symbol next to the one by Benevolent bread has been cooked yet, so you can use that to guide you with which things to make. I'm going to make this magical bread, but you can make anything that you have ingredients for that is white and not grayed out. After doing that cooking, we're going to go back to the strategy room and talk to Strohl, and when we do this, we're going to be able to get some more courage. When we spend time with him, he'll ask us a question and the answer does matter. So when he asks you the question this time, we're going to say option 3, any weapon can be dangerous. When you select this, you get the most rewards in terms of mag as well as royal virtue. In this case, we get 4 points toward courage, raising our courage to rank 3. It's now the night of July 17th, and we find ourselves inside the Grove camp. Once again, there's going to be a campfire in front of us with one of the cooking ingredient insects. The game will tell us about the bath cask, which basically allows us to use an item to increase one of our stats permanently, but we'll never have to do that for a trophy. We'll grab the insect off of the campfire, and now we're going to head back down inside the Gauntlet Runner by running to the side and choosing to go down into the strategy room from the hatch on the side. Once we get inside, we're going to go to the ladder across from the kitchen. This is going to be down to the engine room corridor. We'll turn toward our left and run down to the bottom, and we're going to talk to Neuras. If we do that, we'll be able to complete a quest with him and also get a rank up. We'll choose to spend time with him, and because we grabbed that relic out of the Man-Eater's Grotto, we're going to complete the quest called Relic Search Inventor's Bequest. We also rank up now to rank 2. That's going to give us the Bombardier ability. At the start of battle on the Gauntlet Runner deck, enemies take damage, and also Gunner Enlightenment, reducing the mag cost for studying the Gunner lineage. And this gives us a new quest, Relic Search Dregs of Destiny. It's now the afternoon of July 18th, and because it's a new day, let's follow our standard routine of heading to the pantry and getting our cooking ingredients. Once you have your ingredients, we'll go back to the kitchen and do some cooking without wasting any time. I'm just going to go down the list and choose something toward the bottom, like these invincible noodles. So let's go ahead and cook these ones, and then we'll be moving on. Once we're done cooking, let's go back out into the hallway, turn right, and go into the next room on the right where the bookshelf is. Heismay added a new book called Bygone Days. Let's go ahead and read that one. There are no questions that you have to answer. You just get an automatic plus 4 points to the Tolerance Royal Virtue when you read this book for the first time. You have to read this book 3 times in total to get all of it read, so that was the first of 3 readings. We then find ourselves in the city ruins, and after a cutscene, we get 4 points toward wisdom, as well as another one of Neuras' drawings of this area. It's now night of July 18th, and we're going to be in the Blackwood camp. When we get control of the protagonist, we'll go forward, interact with that campfire, and get our cooking ingredient insect. Now from here, we're going to turn around and head back inside the Gauntlet Runner, and we're going to go down to the kitchen so that we can do a little bit more cooking. Once again, it doesn't really matter which you choose to cook here, just choose something that's white and not grayed out. So I'll go down and I'm going to create these critical meatballs. And once you're done cooking that, what we're going to do is head over toward the study, and we're going to go to the bookshelf once again, and we will continue reading Bygone Days. This will be the second of 3rd readings that we do here. Once again, no questions, you just get that automatic +4 to your tolerance royal virtue. Now on the afternoon of July 19th, we're going to make a quick adjustment to one of our inherited skills. So let's open up the menu and then go to the archetype tree. We want to select Heismay, and we're going to change his Thief's inherited skill from Blizz to Bot. And that's because the next enemy that we have to fight is weak to fire. So once you have that done, let's go ahead and go to that pantry to get our daily supply of cooking ingredients. After you've gotten your cooking ingredients, we want to do some more cooking, so run over to that cooking table and choose something that you can cook based on which ingredients you have. I've got enough for this curative coney roast, so I'm going to cook that now. And after cooking that, we want to go and spend some time with Strohl. We can't rank him up, so you can't just jump to him that way. You actually have to find him. He's not in the strategy room like he normally is. This time I'm going to find him back on the deck. Just find the person with the courage symbol on the map, and that's how you know where he is. So we're going to go and talk to him now out on the deck, and we don't have to answer any questions this time when we talk to him. All we have to do is to receive our reward, which is going to be 4 more points toward the royal virtue of courage. After we spend time with Strohl, we will automatically be put into a battle against Catherina. Because we ranked Neuras up, he will use that Bombardier ability, and he will attack Catherina right off the bat. So that did 600 points of damage to her, giving us a nice head start. And because she's weak to fire, all of my party members will just keep using Bot over and over again, and she should be dead before she even gets her first turn.
Keep it up.
By this power. Burn! Oh, power
opening,
of
Captain.
heroes!
Hulkenburg got them right
Ready to I'll use what I must. Hellfire!
In that sword master!
Burn to ash!
That's nothing.
Magic seeker! Fire!
You all lose.
Magic knight! Burn!
No.
And there you go, another boss fight that is an unscathed triumph. I got enough experience to get the protagonist up to level 27, and I have 2 points to allocate. I'm going to put 1 point into agility, just so it's tied up with endurance, and the other point goes into strength.
Nice. I feel strong.
You'll get some more cutscenes with Catherina and then hit rank 3 with her. You get access to the Pugilist, which is the upgraded version of the Brawler, as well as the Bounty bonus ability, which gives you more rewards at the recruitment center when you complete bounties. Ironic that the Pugilist that focuses on punching things is found on the archetype tree right where you don't want to be punched. It's now nighttime on July 19th, and we're going to find ourselves inside Muddy Camp on the deck of the Gauntlet Runner. We're going to go forward and interact with that campfire to get another one of those Dream Eater moths or Lumabees, and then we're going to head down inside the Gauntlet Runner to go to the kitchen because we're going to do some more cooking. Again, choose anything that you have available to you, it doesn't matter. I'm going to cook this red grass roasted Badoo, and after that, then we're going to go back to the study so that we can read a little bit more, and we're actually going to finish the book that Heismay brought to us called Bygone Days. If we can do that, not only are we going to get 4 points toward tolerance, but because we finished the book, we get an additional 4 points, so this is going to give us 8 total points toward tolerance, and that's really, really good for us. Reading is not only a very effective way of getting more royal virtue points, but also we do get a trophy or achievement when we read all of the books available to us, so we'll be spending a lot of our time doing this. Again, there's a lot of story stuff that happens here, so feel free to pause it, and we're going to resume when we take control of the protagonist on the streets of Brylehaven. It's now the afternoon of July 20th. Let's hop onto our sword and go forward past where the gauntlet runners are. We want to go over to the northwest corner over by the docks, but don't talk to the guy who's on the ferry yet. Instead, turn toward the right and go to the end of this area so that you can grab the gold beetle on the ground. Now we're going to turn around and go back up the ramp, and we want to make our way over toward the northeast corner. Once you get to this market area, go into the alleyway toward the east and then make your way up toward the north. Continue going through this passageway toward the northeast and grab this other gold beetle at the dead end by the big boxes here. If you look at the map, it's east from the little merchant stand shop and then north from there. Let's backtrack the way that we came and go out to the main road again, and at that point we want to turn and start heading toward the north, and we're going to go out the northeastern exit so that we can go into the next area, which is called Merchant's Bazaar. When we get here, turn toward the left immediately. There's going to be a water seller. We want to talk to him and we're going to buy some things. You can buy some pristine clear water if you need it. I've got lots of those, but definitely pick up a couple of these briny salts and then grab some fruit cordials if you want to restore some MP quickly. After that, we'll go across from him, and there's going to be the Fervent Fishmonger. He's going to have some things like this marbled bluefin tuna. Make sure you grab about 6 of those too, and some more coney meats if you're running kind of low on those. And now we can sell off all the things that we've collected so far, and I got over 55,000 reeve just for doing that. We'll go over toward the west and then toward the north, and inside this little area on the left, there's going to be another gold beetle waiting here. Let's head back out to the main road, and you'll notice that it's Idle's Day, so things are on sale, but don't buy anything yet because there's going to be an even better sale later on, and we want to save some money. Let's continue down toward the north and then go around the corner here to the right by the recruitment center, and there's another gold beetle waiting on the ground in this back corner. After collecting the gold beetle, we want to make our way over to the next area, so let's head over toward the north where the quest marker is flashing. We can talk to the ferryman here, and he's going to give us the option to go to the arena front wharf, so let's choose that and then move over there. Starting off, we're going to go over toward the left, and then we're going to go up to the top, and you'll see another gold beetle way at the top of this area. So grab that, and now what we want to do is to head south again, back toward where we came from, and there's going to be an old man over here with a bug symbol over his head. He's the mysterious old man, and when we talk to him, we can turn in the gold beetles that we've been collecting for very good items. So in this case, we get this arcane dragon blood, and we will be returning to him periodically to turn in those gold beetles because there is a trophy or achievement related to getting all of the rewards available from him. Once you're all done with that, we're going to go back to the ferryman and we're going to select that we want to go to the Anglers in Square Inn district to continue on with the story. We have to find an inn to stay at. Unfortunately, because there's so many people here, there's not a lot of room. So we're going to go forward and then we're going to go across this bridge. On the right side is going to be Loveless. Let's talk to him first. After a little bit of dialogue, we learn that we can't stay here and instead we're going to go over toward the north and we want to talk to Lina. After some more dialogue, we learn that we can't stay here either, so let's go a little bit further toward the west and talk to Milo.
What is it you require?
Now this shouldn't come as a surprise to you, but of course we can't stay here either, so we're going to head back the way we came across the bridge toward the south. Now turn toward the right and follow the path down until you get to this rink-a-dink little inn here. After talking to the wary innkeep, we learn that we can stay here, so let's go into the door that's labeled Spider's Den. After some dialogue and a cutscene, all we have to do is to interact with the bed, and we're going to choose to rest. That actually kicks off a whole lot of story stuff that I'm skipping, but we are going to get control of ourselves once again on July 22nd in the afternoon. Let's hop aboard our sword and just go around the corner until we can get to the ferryman who has the quest marker on him on the minimap, and we're going to select to go to Angler's Inn Square Night Prowler. Once we get here, just go forward and go inside the door that looks like a cave. There's going to be a whole lot of story stuff that happens, but we get control of ourselves again, and now we have to go over to the ferryman, and we're going to choose a new destination for him to take us to. Choose Warship Harbor, Courageous Front. Let's hop onto our sword and just follow the path around toward the north. From here, keep going toward the northwest, and you're going to go into the next area. We're now escorted inside the area, and while it looks and is technically a dungeon, we don't have to do any fighting here. All we have to do is run straight forward down the hallway until we get into another cutscene. It's going to be kind of a lengthy series of them that I'm just going to skip, and then we find ourselves inside the inn on the night of July 22nd. All we've got to do is to choose to rest, and we're back outside on the afternoon of July 23rd. There's a lot to do today. Let's go for it, and we're going to talk to this exhausted woman to get these Soldier Solace quests started. She's going to show us on the world map the destination where we have to go to complete this quest. It's in a place called Gracia Forest, which is located a little bit north of where we currently are. After that, let's go over and across this bridge to the north, and we want to talk to the guy wearing all white here. This is Julian, and he will give us a very missable item. It's one of the books that we need to read called The Magical Future. So make sure that you talk to him and get this book, otherwise you're going to be locked out of a trophy, and that's no good. After that, what we need to do is to change up our archetypes a little bit. We want to do some learning here, so we're going to go into the archetype tree, and with Strohl, we want to go up and learn and study this wizard archetype. We've already maxed out the mage, so now we can study this wizard and get another archetype under our belts. It does cost 7,200 mag, but we have a lot to spare, and once again, more will give us a reward for getting a new archetype studied. We're not going to channel that, however. We're going to stay on the Swordmaster. In order to get Heismay to become an assassin, I need to have a master rank thief, and I'm not quite there yet. So I'm going to use the items that Moore gives us, like this hero's fruit, to boost the level of his thief archetype, and he will now become a master thief, allowing us to turn into an assassin. So after all that's done being learned, let's go back into the archetype tree, and we're going to have Heismay switch from the thief over to the assassin. This is definitely pretty expensive, coming in at a cost of 9,000 mag, but it's very necessary and good that we learn this. So let's go ahead and teach him how to become an assassin. Let's channel that assassin archetype with Heismay and equip the best possible equipment, and when we leave out of the archetype tree in the menu, we'll get a notice that we have a new reportable quest, and that's for Moore, so we can talk to Moore's Phantom on the bench right next to us, go to Academia and talk to Moore. That's going to complete the quest called Moore's Task Chapter 3 Drifting. We're going to get an increase to our imagination by 4 points, and we're also going to then get a new rank up with Moore up to rank 5. That will teach us Scion's Merit, increasing the inheritance slot for the Seeker lineage to 3, and we get a new quest called Moore's Task Chapter 4 Turmoil. When we complete that, we're going to get some more imagination. After we're all done with Academia, let's go ahead and leave out the door on the right side, and we'll be back out inside Brylehaven. What we want to do from here is to fast travel over to Seabreeze Street. Let's go forward, and then a little bit on our right is going to be a young boy called Kindly Boy. He gives us a quest called Effervescent Youth. We need to go to St. Firmus Church and buy an item for him, so let's complete that now. We'll pull up our map and then go to the world map. We want to go over to the St. Firmus Church inside of the Royal Capital Grand Trad. Once we're here, go forward, talk to the Sanctor, there'll be a little bit of a dialogue, and then after that we'll have the option to buy from him. You want to go over to the right tab for the key items and purchase this rainbow flower for 500 Reeve. After you have that, we can then fast travel back to where we just were inside Port Brilehaven, and we're going to go to Seabreeze Street. Once again, go forward and then talk to the boy to turn in the quest that will complete the Effervescent Youth quest, giving us an increase of tolerance of 4 points. And at this point, we've done just enough to get up to rank 3 of tolerance. There is another quest giver in this area. We just have to head over toward the northwest and we'll find the sullen man over by the railing and the bench. When we talk to him, he gives us the dental distress quest. We have to purchase the toothbrush of Hygienia from the nearby town of Inundo, and we'll be doing that in a little while. Now let's hop back onto our sword and we're going to go out that northeastern exit until we can get out into the Merchant's Bazaar area. From here, let's go straight ahead across the bridge, and next to Strohl is going to be a craftsman, and he is going to give us the Superior Scrimshaw quest. To complete this, we have to slay an enemy inside a place called the Forsaken Tower. After speaking with the craftsman, we'll hop back on our sword, go north until we can go into the recruitment center. Inside, we want to go and accept a new bounty from the recruiter dispatcher. Because we ranked up with Catherina, she gives us a bonus to the bounty amounts. And in this case, we're going to select the bounty target called Fatalich Lamentable Dead, who's found in a place called the Tomb of Lament. This is going to be found in an area a little bit north of Brilehaven. And we actually see that there are multiple ways to get there depending on which route we take, and that actually does have an important bearing on some things in the future. Well, now that we've accepted the bounty for Fatalich Lamentable Dead, we're going to head to the next area, so pull up the map and we're going to fast travel over to the Arena Front Wharf. Let's run up the ramp to the left, and as we go up, we'll be interrupted by the man in pain. What we need to do is head all the way to the left side of this ramp to talk to him over here. He's going to want a medicinal herb from us. We'll give him one, and then he's actually going to give us a really good reward. He gives us something called tailbait, which is used for fishing to get new cooking ingredients that we need. So we're very thankful to get that from him. And once we're done, we're going to head over toward the north section, and there's going to be another quest giver here. He's a brewer who gives us the quest, The Chalice versus the Brew. We need to get one more quest, and to get that, we need to head over to the Night Prowler, so fast travel over there, and immediately to your left is going to be someone called Overfamiliar Man. He gives us the quest, Deeds and Diversions. And now that we have that quest, we're going to fast travel back over to the main part of town, the Anglers Inn Square. And we're going to proceed north along the path and go into the tavern on our left. Inside here is going to be the informant, and we want to buy some information from him. So let's go over here and we're going to talk to the seasoned man who is the informant, and we're going to purchase the crew quarter Sergeant Xanth, starboard quarter Chief Seba, port quarter Master Gleckham, bridge Juna Devotee Cabio, security guard Salva, avian of Gracia Forest, ghost of the Tomb of Lament, fiend of the Forsaken Tower. And when we purchase this one, we get a special reward where it actually shows us on the map where we have to go for that bounty. So the Forsaken Tower is way toward the north of where we are, and once again, there's multiple routes how to get there. We can also buy ingredients of Oceania and a village trading port Brilehaven. After you buy all of that information, then we are done with the stuff that we have to do inside Port Brilehaven. What we need to do is to go and spend some time with Bardon. So pull up that follower menu, scroll way down until you find Bardon, and choose to go and have a conversation with him. He is ready to rank up, so let's go ahead and take care of that at this point.
I can't believe it.
After spending some time with Bardon, we do reach rank 2 with him. That will give us the Commander Enlightenment ability, reducing the mag cost of studying the Commander lineage. It's now the night of July 23rd, and you may have noticed that we haven't gone to the Gauntlet Runner yet today, but we're about to remedy that. So let's fast travel over there, and we're going to go into the pantry and grab our daily supply of cooking ingredients. We're now going to fast travel to the Merchant's Bazaar in Port Brilehaven because we need to defeat another opponent in a debate. So once you get here, hop on your sword and travel north all the way down across the bridge to the far end of this area. The podium is just on the left here, and you'll see that there's a new opponent up on there. His name is Jin. Let's go ahead and choose to spend our night debating him. When you're prompted to choose your response in the debate, you want to select the second option, we should help anyone. This will cause you to win the debate and you'll get the best rewards possible. We'll get 5,000 Reeve as well as a whopping 5 points toward Eloquence and 1 point toward Imagination. This is enough to get our Eloquence now up to rank 3. It's now the afternoon of July 24th, and we're going to start our day by fast traveling over to the Gauntlet Runner to get our cooking ingredients from the pantry.
Let's go.
It's time to win another debate. This time it's against Glodell, so we'll fast travel over to the Merchant's Bazaar in Port Brilehaven. Once we get there, hop on your sword and we're going to go all the way north to the podium. Glodell will be the 5th opponent that we defeat, and then there's only 3 more after him until we get our trophy. We'll choose to spend the day debating Glodell, and when you are prompted to give your answer in the debate, you want to choose the third option, which is going to be you only parrot Luis. Again, this will allow us to win the debate, and we also get the best rewards, 5,000 Reeve, as well as, again, 5 points toward Eloquence and 1 point toward Imagination. It's now the night of July 24th, and this is going to be a pretty easy night for us. All we're going to do is to pull up that follower menu, choose Heismay, and go have a conversation with him.
Apology.
Now we'll choose to spend some time with him that will pass the night, and we will also rank up. And this gets us to rank 4 with Heismay. We get the Scion skill ability so that we get more inheritable skills with the Thief lineage. We made it to the afternoon of July 25th, and Gallica will tell us that the day after tomorrow is Forgiveness Day, where there's a lot of sales. It's also Idols Day today, but we're not going to do any shopping. Let's start off our day by heading over to the Gauntlet Runner, and because it's an Idols Day and the date ends in 5, we can use the toilet in order to get a permanent +1 to our luck stat. After that, go across the hall, and we will use the pantry to get our daily cooking supplies. After that, we're going to pull up our follower menu and scroll down until we get to Bardon. He is ready to speak with us and to rank up again, so we're going to choose to spend some time talking to him and then spend the day going through his backstory, learning more about him and the struggles that he faces. And when all that's over, we're going to get a new rank with him, and that's going to be rank 3. We get a new archetype. It's going to be the General. It is the upgraded to the Commander, and we also get Scion skills so that we can inherit a second ability. Once we get the General up to rank 15, that unlocks the next rank for more, so we will be studying that one later on. It's now the night of July 25th. We're back inside the Brilehaven Tavern, and we're going to now go into the follower menu, scroll down to Brigitta. We want to choose to spend some time talking to her tonight, and we'll fast travel right over there once we select that. Outside of her shop, we'll talk to her, and we have to have rank 3 of courage to say, I'll go wherever you're going, and that will unlock the option to spend some time with her and get her rank up. And at this point, we do get to rank 5 with Brigitta. That gives us the guild discount. We receive a discount at weapon, armor, and igniter shops. and that discount is going to be very handy at our next shopping trip. It's now the afternoon of July 26th, and we want to start our day by heading back to the Gauntlet Runner to get our supplies from the pantry.
Let's go.
After that, it's time for another debate, this time against our 6th opponent, whose name is Rudolf. So let's fast travel over to the Merchant's Bazaar. We'll hop on our sword and travel all the way north until we get to that podium. We'll interact with the podium, and after a little bit of dialogue, we'll choose to spend the day debating Rudolf. When choosing how you want to respond to the debate, use option 3, the tribes must stand together. This will cause you to win the debate, and you will get the best rewards possible. You get 5,000 Reeve, as well as 5 points toward Eloquence, and 1 point toward Imagination. The night of July 26th is very easy. All we need to do is when we start off inside the Brylehaven Tavern, we want to turn around and go outside.
What do you want to do?
On our left, just a short trip down this road, is going to be this Watchtower. We want to go inside of it, and we can spend our night looking out at the city from its heights. And if we do that, we're going to get +4 to our Wisdom Royal Virtue. It's now the afternoon of July 27th, and this is a special day because it's called Forgiveness Day, and there are big sales throughout the city that we do not want to miss. Bardon wants to spend time with us today, but we've got way more important things to do than to focus on him right now. Starting off, we're going to head over to the Gauntlet Runner, and of course we're going to get our pantry items. Now let's fast travel over to the Merchant's Bazaar inside Brylehaven so that we can take part in a little bit of shopping.
Let's head there right away.
Let's start heading down the road to the north, and immediately on our right are going to be 2 shops, the armor shop and the weapon shop. I'm going to go into the weapon shop first, which is the furthest from the entry point. When we talk to the classy shopkeep, we'll see that Brigitta is going to give us a special discount. This is the guild discount ability that we got before, so we get even better prices on the things that we buy. We're going to go into that buy command and go down toward the bottom of the list to buy this Pearl Semaphore. This is a new weapon for the commander or general archetypes, and we're going to be using that a little bit later on. Now let's go through the list and purchase some things that could be useful to us, such as this Ninja Blade for Heismay, definitely an upgrade to what he's wearing currently. We can then go up a little bit further, checking out some other items. This purple one is really good, but it's also pretty expensive, so we'll skip that. We'll go to the fishing harpoon, buy that, and give it to Hulkenburg. We'll go up and buy this guillotine blade and equip it onto Strohl. And then we'll go up a little bit more, and we're going to purchase the sailor's sword and give it to the protagonist. Now at this point, I'm nearly out of money, so I need to get some more. I can go into the sell option, and I can sell off the old weapons that I'm not using anymore. They're all sorted in order of what type of weapon they are, making it very easy to sell off the stuff that doesn't matter anymore. So go down the whole list, selling off everything, and you'll see that by the time I was done selling, I went from about 13,000 all the way up to 64,000 Reeve. We'll go ahead and leave the Merchant's Bazaar weapon shop, and we're going to go into the armor shop, which is just next door on our left. Because we've picked up a lot of armors and things inside of the dungeons that we've been into, I want to make sure that I'm equipped with the best stuff possible first before trying to buy more armor. So go into everyone's armor, choose the strongest option for them, and then select whatever it gives you. Again, this does not change any of your accessories, but that's okay because I want those accessories to stay the same. After everyone's been outfitted with the best equipment, let's go ahead and talk to the shopkeeper. He does have some good things to buy, but a lot of them are limited in their number. So starting off, there's this naval armor. That's pretty good, increasing our endurance +4. There's also the Maximilian armor, increasing endurance +5. And the healing hauberk, which also gives us small HP recovery every turn in battle. But we can only buy a few of those, so we got to be careful about that. There's also some more gear that we can purchase that give various effects, including increased agility. So I'm not going to show you me purchasing all of these. I'll just show you the summary at the end of what I purchased. The protagonist has the Magic Seeker archetype with the Sailor Sword weapon, Naval Waistcoat armor, Steel Ship Gouaches gear, and the Crescent Medal accessory. Strohl has the Swordmaster archetype with the Guillotine Blade weapon, Healing Hauberk armor, Brave Guards gear, and the Glow Igniter accessory. Hulkenburg has the Magic Knight archetype with the Fishing Harpoon weapon, Maximilian armor, Boxer's Headgear gear, and Glow Igniter accessory. And Heismay has the Assassin archetype with the Ninja Blade weapon, Naval Waistcoat armor, Espadrille gear, and the Twinkling Crystal accessory. I also sold off all the old armor I didn't need and ended with about 27,000 reeve to spare. Now let's pull up our follower menu, go down to Bardon, and we'll choose to spend some time talking to him, and we're going to spend the afternoon with him so that we can rank him up.
You've come. I am glad.
We actually get some cool abilities with him when we hit rank 4. We get the Protective Formation ability, which improves defense when the whole party is in the back row, and the Care Package ability. Occasionally, as one day ends and another begins, Bardon will send a parcel of some random items. Now it's July 27th at nighttime, and it's another debate night, so we're going to fast travel our way over to the Merchant's Bazaar, and of course we're going to ride our sword all the way toward the north to the podium. It's actually good getting all the sword riding in earlier because it means we'll have to grind out the trophy related to it less in the future. We see that Milo is up on the podium now, so let's go ahead and choose to debate him. And now when you have to select which option you want, you're going to choose the first option that's available to you, which is Beauty is Deeper Than Our Skin. With that, we've now won 7 debates out of the 8, but we can't do the 8th one for a little while yet. We get 5,000 reeve, as well as 5 points toward Eloquence and 1 more point toward Imagination, which is just enough to get us to rank 3 in Imagination. And now as one day ends and another begins, we do get a care package from Bardon, getting us 2 Great Fairy Dust. This is random, so I can't guarantee that'll happen to you, but hopefully it does. It's now the afternoon of July 28th, and we have another busy day ahead of us. Let's fast travel to the Royal Capital Grand Trad, and we're going to go to the Catacombs entrance because today is the day when we are going to complete the Catacombs dungeon. From the entrance, we're just going to go straight forward until we can go down and enter the dungeon, which is how we're going to spend our day today. This is going to be a pretty quick dungeon, and the enemies here are fairly weak, and thanks to our new weapons and equipment, we can take them out no problem. Let's start by running forward straight down the path, and if you'll remember the first time that we were here, the doors on the sides were locked, and this time the door on the left side is open, so we can go through here, and there's going to be one item we can grab on our left. Let's go through the nearby door, and we'll see that there's a lot of big slime enemies around here. Go into the door on the right to grab the item, and then turn around and exit the room. We're going to run forward toward these doors, but if you turn toward the right, you'll grab an item first. Now let's turn toward the left and go through the left door that's open. There's going to be a crawl space that you want to go through, and in the back room, there's a treasure chest.
Alright, look at that.
Now let's turn around and go back through that crawl space to join the main hallway. From here, turn left and go through the big doors that you have to open. Now run forward and turn left to go into the western hallway, and on the right side there's some big slime monsters. They're all going to be weak to the fire element. Grab the item in the corner and watch out for the Mortar Skull enemy that drops down. They are weak to light-based attacks if you have to fight them in squad-based combat. We need to defeat 8 of those things for a quest. We're going to keep running down the south hallway over toward the west, and watch out because there's some more enemies around the corner. There's also one of those Specto enemies that patrol around here. Be careful because when they teleport, they like to come up right behind you. So pay attention to your directions when they teleport, and then turn around and attack them when they show up behind you. Let's grab the item in the small room on the west side, and then go back to the larger room to go north, and we'll exit through the big doors. Let's stick toward the right side, and we're going to take out all of the enemies that spawn in, including these Spectos, and then keep going toward the right, and we're going to take out all of the slime enemies up on this platform. Let's grab the item in the corner and then go west to join the main hallway. Now turn toward the right, and we're going to run all the way up into the center of this area where there's a 3-way intersection. We want to turn toward the left and go west first. We'll open up the big doors and follow the path. We'll go down the nearby stairs and then turn around because you can grab an item in the back corner. Now we're going to proceed over toward the west. There's some more of these green slime enemies. We'll take them out, and we're going to grab the item nearby. Keep going west and then go up the stairs. There's going to be one Specto over here. Take him out and then proceed north up the staircase and follow the path around. There's one Mortar Skull straight in front of you, but 2 of them come in from the sides and try to attack you when you're not expecting them. So take out all 3 of those, and then pay attention because a Specto can show up here too. We'll destroy him, and then we're going to grab the item in the railing on the left side. There's a narrow hallway going east, and we want to go that direction first. So go forward, take out the slime enemy, and then keep going forward all the way to the end, defeating the large green slime, and grab the treasure chest at the end of the path. Let's turn around and head back the way that we came, but stick toward the left side because there's going to be a path that branches off to the left. We want to destroy these urns to gain access to a crawl space. After going through the crawl space, we're going to turn left and go into this room and grab the treasure chest.
Nice. Our risk pays off.
Now turn around and go back through that crawl space, and we want to rejoin the main path, which is to the west. I noticed on the minimap that another Mortar Skull spawned in here, so we're going to go and take him out. Now let's proceed toward the south, and we'll go down the stairs. There's a Magla Hollow in front of you, so use that if you want to. Otherwise, turn left when you get here, and we're going to go down into this area that has a lot more enemies we can destroy.
Forward. That was well done.
I see the enemy. Impressive as ever. Let's push through. Right there.
After we defeated all of them, we're going to grab the item in the corner and then go toward the east and wrap ourselves around toward the north. There are a lot more slime enemies around here, so let's take all of them out. Someone asked me how you do the dash attack. You lock onto the enemy by pressing the L1 or left bumper button and then do the normal attack. That will cause you to dash forward, and if there are other enemies near to each other, it will automatically lock onto the next one, and you can keep chaining the attacks together. After those slimes, grab the item in the corner, and now we're going to go over toward the east. Follow the small path toward the south all the way to the end. There's going to be a large red slime. Those guys are weak to lightning, and then you can grab the item in the back. Let's turn around and retrace our steps back toward the north. Now let's head west to rejoin the main branch and just keep running around toward the right, circling around until you grab the item in the far corner. From here, turn left and go through the doors into the next room. Turn left again and go grab the treasure chest up on this platform. This is a very important treasure chest because it contains 1/2 to a key that we need in order to get to the boss of this area and complete the dungeon. So we have the lower half, now we need to go find the upper half to combine them into one key. We'll keep going along the path, grabbing the item on the way, and then we'll go north and we can open up this door that takes us out into the hallway that ultimately leads to where the boss is. Going left will be where we need to go, but we're going to turn toward the right first and grab the item on the way. You can see the black smoke for the boss door up ahead, as well as Moore's cat. If you try to go through this other set of doors, you won't be able to because it's locked. We're going to circle around and come back through this door from the other side. Let's go over toward the west. We're going to circle around. You can go into this Magla Hollow if you want to. Otherwise, keep going up and destroy this red enemy. Toward the left is going to be a dead end, so don't worry about that. We just want to go toward the right and head south and go through this door. If you remember back to a few minutes ago, we came to a large room with an intersection where we chose to go toward the west. This is that same room. We just circled around and came back from the north. So now we're going to turn toward our left and we're going to exit out the east and go through these large doors. This will lead us into the second half of the dungeon. In this part, we're going to find the remainder of all of these Morta skulls that we have to defeat. So let's take out the couple that spawn in this hallway and then turn the corner around toward the left. There are a few of these Specto enemies in the hallway, so keep your guard up. They like to come in from behind you. Just make sure that you turn around quickly once they spawn in and destroy them. Let's keep following this hallway around to the other side. There's going to be a red Elementa over here, so we'll target that down and destroy him before he gets a chance to run away. Remember to use those Blizz spells to take him out quickly. We'll finish cleaning up the enemies in this hallway and taking out the Morta skulls as they spawn in, and then we want to go all the way to the south end of this hallway, turn toward the right, and if you look at the minimap, there's going to be a treasure chest at the north end of the next hallway. We'll run over here and open this up. This is a safe treasure chest. It's not trapped. Well, kind of, because as soon as you open that up, there's going to be a bunch of Morta skulls that drop down that we have to defeat. And after we defeat them, we will definitely have destroyed enough of these guys to complete the quest of the nervous soldier just outside of the Mausoleum entrance. We'll continue around toward the right, and we're going to defeat the other enemies along the path, and we're going to go down this hallway to the bottom. When you get to the bottom of the stairs, immediately turn right and then go down this little alcove to grab the item, and now we can backtrack to destroy the green slime enemies. There's a treasure chest here. Let's open it up, and inside of it is going to be the upper half of our key, and we will automatically combine them to create the inner sanctum key leading to the boss room. After that, let's go over toward the west, and we're going to grab the item in the corner here, and now we can turn and open up this door. This is now coming from the other side. It was the previously locked door that I tried to show you how to open earlier, and now we can go over to the boss room. We're just going to head all the way toward the east. You can save at Moore's cat if you want to, but this is a very easy fight, and you shouldn't have too much of a problem with it. Let's go ahead and open the door and get into the boss fight. This enemy is called Cadablich, and he is accompanied by 3 of the Sword Soldiers Malmorta. The Cadablich is completely immune to our physical attacks. In fact, he will repel them, which will probably end up killing us if we hit him with that. So don't do that. We're going to use Lurking Nightblade from Heismay on him. That'll do a lot of damage and also lower his agility by 1 stage. Now we're going to attack the Sword Soldiers. Strohl will use Mage Light to eliminate one of them, and then with our protagonist, we can use one of our spells. I'm just going to use the bot spell. That should be enough to finish off another one of these soldiers. After that, Hulkenburg will use her Mage Light ability from her accessory to finish off the last one of those soldiers. With all the minions gone, let's turn our focus back to the Cadablich himself. We're going to use another Lurking Nightblade from Heismay to lower his agility 1 more stage and do lots of damage. And now we're going to have Strohl hit his weakness to light by using Mage Light. And now we can just finish off the fight with our protagonist. We're going to use the Cyclo spell, and that should be enough to kill him. If it doesn't, he likes to use attacks that hit all the party members, but because we lowered his agility by 2 stages, Heismay should be able to dodge that, and that will end his turn, and you can just finish the fight right after that. It was an unscathed triumph, which gets us bonus rewards. We got a couple new archetype levels out of that. Strohl's Swordmaster learned Raging Edge, dealing heavy physical slash damage to all enemies. Hulkenburg's Magic Knight learned Dark Dodge. It's a passive ability that increases our evasion against dark attacks, and Heismay's Assassin learned Curse Chant, which may inflict Hex on all enemies. After that, there'll be some more cutscene stuff, and we'll also get the Black Jewel Necklace so that we can complete the quest from the Resentful Noble. Now we're going to keep going further toward the east. We'll go through this door and we're going to be in a back hallway. Let's continue forward, and then we want to turn toward the left and we're going to go north all the way to the end of this area. We'll go through the door and then keep going forward so that we can grab the treasure chest at the end.
Wow, good find.
Now we'll turn around and head all the way south, and that will basically take us back to the entrance of the Mausoleum. We'll go around the corner, and now we can open up the door and we can grab the item on the right hand side. Keep heading west to go out into the hallway and then turn toward the left. That will take us down toward the south, and we're going to run all the way down this hallway and up the stairs that will take us outside of the Mausoleum. Once we get outside, let's talk to the nervous soldier who's right next to us, and we can complete his quest because we defeated all of those Morta skulls. Completing these skullduggery quests gives us a new piece of armor called the Brigandine, as well as 3,000 Reeve. Because we went into a dungeon today, we can't do anything at nighttime. We just have to have dinner with our friends and recover our HP and MP. So let's just head toward the south, and when we try to leave the Catacombs entrance, Gallica will ask us what we want to do. We'll say let's head back, and then that will complete the daytime and the nighttime activities, and we will once again gain control of our character on the afternoon of July 29th. It looks like Bardon wants to have a visit from us, and we will do that in just a little bit, but first we're going to head on over to the Gauntlet Runner so that we can go get our cooking supplies from the pantry. Now we're going to fast travel back over to the Royal Capital Grand Trad, and we're going to go to Sunlumio Street because we have a quest that we can turn in just ahead of us toward the north. So once you arrive over there, jump on your sword and travel toward the north, and over on the right side is going to be that resentful noble who we can talk to, and that will complete his quest. Once again, we get a new piece of armor as well as some Reeve, but we also get a bonus to our Courage Royal Virtue. This is going to get us 4 more points in that category. Because Bardon wants to speak to us, pull up that follower menu and then scroll down until you get to Bardon, and we'll choose to go to have a conversation with him, and that will cause us to fast travel over to him. Once you're here, talk to him, and you have to give him a special dialogue option. Because we have rank 3 Eloquence, we'll say just be yourself. That will unlock our ability to spend time with him, and we can rank up.
Thank you, truly.
When we hit rank 5 with Bardon, we get 2 new abilities. The first one allows us to get another inheritance slot for the commander lineage, and we also get Escape Artist, which improves the chances of escaping from squad battle. We don't really run from battles, so that's not an entirely useful ability for us. It's now the nighttime of July 29th, and we're going to be back inside the Brylehaven Tavern. All we want to do tonight is to have a conversation with Brigitta. She's ready to rank up as well. So we'll choose to go talk to her. We'll teleport over to where she's supposed to be, but she's actually not there. Instead, there's a watchman out front of our shop. Let's talk to the watchman, and he will allow us to go and spend time with Brigitta instead. When we hit rank 6 with Brigitta, we get 2 new abilities. The first one significantly reduces the mag cost of studying the merchant lineage, and the other one significantly improves the exchange rate at the mag exchange. It's now the afternoon of July 30th, and we want to start off our day by heading back to the Gauntlet Runner so that we can do 2 things while we're there. First off, we want to go over to the toilet because it is Idol's Day, the date ends in a 0, and so we can use this toilet to get a permanent +1 to our luck stat. And then we'll go across the hall to get our daily supply of cooking ingredients. Now we want to help complete a quest for Strohl, so we're going to fast travel over to Royal Capital Grand Trad, and we're going to go to the Regolith Grand Cathedral area. That's the place we have to go in order to meet with a merchant over here. We're going to hop onto our sword and proceed down the road over to where all of the merchants are. If you look to where the water cellar is, a little bit to the left, we're going to find this guy here. He doesn't really want to talk to us just yet, but he is the person that we need to talk to. We just need to unlock the ability to speak to him first. Travel past the water cellar and keep going south until you get into a cutscene, and after that you want to speak to the fishmonger who is right behind the tent. So once we have a conversation with this fishmonger, we'll be able to get back onto our sword, go back to that first person that we talked to past that water cellar, and now because we have 3 ranks of imagination, we're able to give him a new dialogue option, and that is going to be, "Did his fish stink?" Once we say that, then we'll be able to essentially complete the quest for Strohl. Strohl can be found on Sunlumio Street. We're just going to turn and start heading toward the west. We'll go down the road until we get into the next area. And now continue down the road. We're going to stick over toward the right hand side, and Strohl will be waiting over here by one of these lampposts. So talk to him, you'll have a conversation, you will automatically spend your time with him that day, and that will cause you to complete part of his quest, and you're also going to rank up with him. We hit rank 6 with Strohl, giving us 2 new abilities. The first one gives us another skill inheritance slot, and we also get Battle Hypnosis. While Strohl is not in the party, he will gain experience at the normal rate. We also complete the quest called A Noble's Legacy. This will give us an increase to our tolerance. We're going to get 4 more points toward that royal virtue. It's now July 30th at nighttime, and we have an easy night ahead of us. All we want to do is to leave the Brylehaven Tavern, and we're going to go back outside to the street. Let's turn toward the left and we'll go over to the Watchtower, and we're just going to spend our night looking out over the city from the Watchtower. That's going to give us an increase to our Wisdom Royal Virtue, and we're going to get 4 points for that. That will bring us very close to getting to the next rank, but we're just a little bit shy of that. Alright my friends, we completed the whole month of July, and we now find ourselves in town on August 1st. And this is where I'm going to end part 5. Thank you very much for watching, I really appreciate it. This was an absolutely jam-packed episode. We made so much progress in so many areas, and I'm having an absolute blast going through this game with you. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give me a like and also comment down below. Share this video with a friend, and if you want to see more videos like this and more of my guides in the future, please be sure to hit that subscribe button to become a member of our community. In part 6 of this guide, we're going to do a lot more content and make a lot of progress once again, so I hope you'll join me for that. I'll see you soon for part 6. Until then, thanks for watching and have a good day.